Reveals for Smash Bros. Ultimate is one of the most exciting parts about any Nintendo Direct. These reveals have only generated more hype as time goes on. From the beginning of seeing Ridley, King K. Rool, and Simon and Richter being added into Smash, to the insane hype levels that Fighter Pass 1 had around it with inclusions of Joker and Banjo. So when Fighters Pass 2 was announced, everybody lost their minds knowing that their dream characters or more characters in general can be added into Smash and bring more content and unique playstyles into the game. About 3 months ago, we got our first reveal as Min Min being our first fighter in the Fighters Pass. She may not have been the most interesting pick, but her playstyle sure is different enough and brings more into the game than any other character that we possibly thought would. Her playstyle is extremely unique. Her B button is basically another A button, and surprisingly enough, the stage that came with her was the closest that we've gotten to getting a legal stage in competitive play. With there still being 5 characters that are left in Fighter Pass number 2, I wanted to go over who I personally would add into Smash Bros. If I was Sakurai. Now this video is mainly about who I would add and not predicting who I think is going to be in it. I will be making a second and separate video on that, so if you want to see that, make sure to stay tuned for my future content. Something tells me that I should just get the most obvious pick of mine out of the way.
The great journey is nigh, and nothing, not even the flood, can stop it. Boo.
This shouldn't be any news to some of you, knowing that I'm a huge advocate for adding Master Chief into Smash. I won't go into the specifics in this video, and I have 2 separate videos that are each like 7-8 minutes long. If you want to go watch them, you can do so after the video. But let me go ahead and personally tell you why I want Master Chief into the game, which is something I didn't mention in the 2 prior videos. Listen, I grew up playing Halo a lot as a kid, and it was a huge part of my childhood. I was introduced to it at a very young age of 1st grade, whenever I would go to my best friend's house and we'd boot up Halo 2 and just play one campaign mission over and over again. It wasn't until the later years of elementary school that I remember my friends also had Xboxes and would play Halo 3 and talk about it, so my parents decided to buy me an Xbox so that I could experience the fun with them. From then on, I learned the beauties of online matchmaking and the genuine joy that you get from playing these games and how much you grow attached to these characters. Not too long after I got my Xbox, Halo Reach was coming, and it was one of my most anticipated games of my life, and it was probably one of the most played games in my entire childhood next to Minecraft. Halo helped forge and solidify a lot of bonds that I still have with friends and I talk to on a regular basis. At the time, I was a Nintendo kid, and I still am, making this video about Smash Brothers, but Halo introduced me to a world of gaming that I would have never been able to experience. And because of that, I've always wanted Master Chief into Smash ever since I saw Snake and Sonic in Brawl. His moveset is extremely unique, and it has a lot to bring to the table in terms of gameplay. And besides seeing one of my favorite video game characters in a franchise that I absolutely love and have wished to join the fight, I hope to see an FPS rep in Fighters Pass 2 just so that we tie in everything that's missing in Ultimate. Personally, if I were Sakurai, that would be my main goal into making Ultimate be the end-all be-all Smash game of everyone's wishes. And I think adding an FPS rep has to be one of those things, and I just hope that it's my man John117.
I suppose it would make sense if my power had dwindled over the past 100 years.
Now the second pick is the thumbnail, and it is actually tied into heavily with what we saw in the latest trailer of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Now back in Smash 4, I was a big time Zelda main, even though she was pretty low on the tier list, and when I saw her new design and moveset in Ultimate, I knew I was going to enjoy playing her. That is until I noticed what her actual playstyle was of just... Which slowly comes with the realization of how much skill other characters take and how good you can be with them. That's not to say Zelda doesn't take any skill, it's just personally not my playstyle anymore. I personally love playing mages in a lot of games, and in Super Smash Bros. I think it's a really unique and cool design aspect of many characters. Now sadly, we didn't get Breath of the Wild Zelda because Sakurai stated that she is more of a researcher than a fighter, which I can agree with, but after seeing that Hyrule Warriors game with Zelda using the Sheikah Slate to actually fight, I want to play as Zelda in Hyrule Warriors, and having something like that in Smash Bros. Would even be cooler. Breath of the Wild Link plays a lot more like his old iterations in Smash rather than his new game, and I feel like Breath of the Wild Zelda would be used for promoting the game and hinting at how she can be a playable character in Breath of the Wild 2. Now I grew up playing more Nintendo games than anything, including a lot of Zelda games, but Breath of the Wild came at the perfect time for me. It's when I started getting back into Nintendo as a company and looking at all the leaks and reveals and waiting for the Switch to be announced. And after seeing all those presentations and pre-ordering the game for March 3rd, seeing the initial reveal trailer of Breath of the Wild at their showcase of the Switch still fills me up with emotions, and I genuinely want to cry a lot of the times. Playing Breath of the Wild back then was one of the most magical things for me. I remember taking it for spring break that year, playing the Switch on the plane when it was still new, and upon reaching our destination, it was one of my favorite places that I've actually gone to. I loved it so much that I remember even playing it while it was raining as I waited for the train to go by, and it was just this comfy atmosphere that I'll always tie with Breath of the Wild and the Switch in general. Having further representation of Breath of the Wild would be amazing to see in Smash Bros. Ultimate, and we can finally even out the odds of 3 Zeldas and 3 Links in this game. Now, unlike a lot of my other picks, this isn't a personal want from me, but I know that if I were Sakurai, I would have to do this. I've grew up playing a lot of Mario games, but I never played Mario RPG and the game that Geno actually originates from. However, if there's one thing that I've heard in Smash Bros. Over the years, it's been the want of Ridley, King K. Rool, Banjo-Kazooie, and Geno. When I saw Ridley and King K. Rool get added into Smash Brothers, I thought that there was no way Geno wouldn't be getting in. And here we are still talking about him trying to just get in this damn game. With a lot of fans getting their wishes, I feel like Geno fans really need a break, and they deserve something like this. Not only would it represent Mario, especially for his 31st anniversary, but it would also represent Square Enix since they were a developer for Super Mario RPG. I wish I could give my own personal opinion on the character, but I really can't say anything as I have yet to play the game, and all I know is that he's a huge want for the game, and that I actually love his design. Maybe that's a good thing, knowing how much turmoil you Geno fans are under.
Let's go to a place where everything is made of blocks.
Now to go from a character that I have no personal attachment to one that I absolutely love, and probably a lot of you guys too. I hinted at this earlier in my video that Minecraft was a huge part of my childhood, and it most certainly did back then, and even now 2 of my best friends since then that I met because of Minecraft, I still talk to on a daily basis, and I still play games with them. I can't imagine it without my boys. I mean, like, Minecraft truly not only did that for me, but for a lot of other people. And for a game to do that and to be this massive as the best-selling game of all time, screw you, Tetris, you don't count because you count all of your games. I think that as a game and the huge phenomenon and culture that it has to be incorporated into this museum of video games. Because of Minecraft, I actually got into making YouTube videos back in the day, and I think I reached over like 100 subscribers because of it. I met a lot of friends, did a lot of factions, and I learned a lot of social skills that I wouldn't otherwise know, especially in an age of a pandemic where a lot of it is through teaching online. I watched countless Minecraft YouTubers back in the day, Sky does Minecraft, Captain Sparkles, and a bunch of other ones that I truly can't remember, but those 2 were the most prominent for me. The first video that I ever watched about Minecraft on YouTube was Skyblock Best Moments of Captain Sparkles, and I still go back to that video with a lot of fondness, knowing what it did for me. Because I watched this video, I remember trying to convince my dad to buy me the game on April Fools and pretending like it was an extremely overpriced game. I ended up getting Minecraft that day on the laptop, and my laptop wasn't that great at the time, so I couldn't really run it. But then the Xbox edition came out, and like I said, a lot of my friends and I played Halo, and those 2 were the games we constantly jumped back and forth with during our elementary and middle school days, plus extremely fun summers of going to my friends' houses and playing countless hours of Minecraft and building damn castles. I don't know what it was with us, but we loved building castles. And in middle school, I was introduced to those 2 best friends that I mentioned earlier. Because of Minecraft, I have my hobbies and the people that I know to thank for it. Aside from my personal attachment of the game, it's a huge game that deserves to be represented in the biggest fighting collaboration for one of the most popular and biggest games in the entire world. So then if we add Steve into Smash, does that then mean that the game is Super Smash Mobs? Oh god. Now, out of all of my picks, this is definitely the weirdest and most out there pick in this entire list. All of them that are here, I could definitely see being added in the game, except this one. But if I was Sakurai, I would make it happen in an instant. I debated whether or not to choose Ari or Darius, but I decided to go with Ari, knowing that she's more kid-friendly in terms of her moveset, since Darius is all about blood and hemorrhage, and also because of the fighting game that Riot is developing, and seeing Ari in that atmosphere tells me that they have a moveset that they have in mind that could be given to Sakurai or the team in order to make the process and transition from a MOBA to Smash Brothers would be more seamless. As I said, I want to represent a lot of areas of gaming, and not only is a MOBA genre not there, but also the PC gaming world. You could easily do Half-Life or any of those other games, but for me personally, League of Legends has had more of an impact in my life, and I absolutely love the storytelling, the lore, and the characters in their game. League of Legends is easily one of the biggest games in the entire world, and its competitive scene and the longevity of the game has lasted for over a decade now. I'm almost certain, even if you're not a League of Legends fan, you've seen some of their cinematics and you definitely have thought that the game looked fun, or you've seen it on Twitch played by a lot of people or by the pros. For me personally, it has brought way too much into my life. It came after I started playing Minecraft on the PC. I've met a lot of friends, and I still have a lot of friendships to thank for because of this game. I spent countless hours and sadly dollars on this game. I've been playing this game since Season 4, so that means I've spent 6 years playing this game, no matter how much I may want to break apart from it after playing ranked or by getting my champion nerfed. By adding Ari into the game, it would not only represent this, but it would add another mage and a new playstyle into the game. The most interesting thing that I would personally want to incorporate is a way to actually have mana or an ultimate ability, either by making sure that you can't spam projectiles with a mana usage that will recharge over time, kind of like energy in League of Legends, or basically by having an ultimate meter that'll allow her to use 3 dashes. Also, what would be really cool is if they added a shop feature where you could actually buy items based on how many kills you have or stocks you have left. This feature, I don't know how well it sounds into Smash Brothers, but Rivals of Aether does it pretty well with Shovel Knight. Now, hopefully Ari allows good boys and girls to play the game. I hope that she's not one of those characters. And those are my 5 picks for who I would add into Smash Brothers Ultimate during the second Fighter Pass. If you guys enjoyed the video, I will be making another list for my predictions, which will be a lot different aside from one character. So if you guys really do want to see that and you guys enjoy helping small content creators, subscribe, leave a like, and tell me in the comment section below who your 5 characters would be. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.